It's my chrysanthemum quilt, and actually I saw the design on an ironing board cover. I can't draw, I'm hopeless at trying to make things look real, but my ironing board cover looked very pretty, so I traced it. I traced this design onto my freezer paper. I cut out the spaces that I wanted my fabric to show through, and then I ironed it on the surface. Once I had ironed it on the surface, I was able then to mark all the lines for my applique with a pencil. Of course, checking first that the pencil can be removed when you wash it. I will stitch up against those lines, and my pattern was on the background. Now, I've chosen a very soft green, that's the background of my quilt, but the applique itself was going to be a much bolder, much brighter orange print. So I put that behind the green. So the green on top with my pencil marks and the dark color behind it. I then tacked it very carefully by hand between the areas I was going to be appliquing. When I applique, I like to use a milliner's needle. Now, milliner's needles are just what they sound like. They're the kind of needles that you use when you are making hats. They're long, they're thin, they're fine, and they're wonderful for doing needle turn. In my needle, I like to use a cotton thread, but not just any cotton thread. I like a 60 weight. Now, if you remember your weights in thread, the bigger the number, the finer the thread. So a 60 weight thread is so fine that even if my stitches aren't perfect on the surface, the thread sinks into my fabric and you don't see them. There are two companies well known for their 60 weight thread, and that's Metler and YLI. I love the Metler threads because they come in 197 delicious colors, something for all of my applique. Now I've got a soft green in my needle. I've made a little knot on the end, and when I'm ready to do one of my petals, I take a lovely pair of sharp scissors. You want scissors that cut nicely to the point. I go within the inside of my pencil line, and with a very, very small seam allowance, I cut out the very, very center of that shape. I want to leave enough in my seam allowances that there's something to turn under, but not so much that it's going to make a lumpy, bumpy edge. So this piece gets thrown away, and you can see that with a scant, maybe 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, a little bit smaller than a quarter, I'm able to have just enough to turn under. In straight areas, any curve that goes on an outside curve, I don't clip because that makes for ragged edges. When I'm doing an inside curve, I will make small snips into that so the fabric can turn under the edge and sew down just flat. So I've begun stitching here already. You can probably see that there are a few clips in the fabric. I'm going to take the side of my needle, holding my finger in place, and using that long, sharp needle to turn the edge under my pencil mark and smooth it down gently. Once it's been smoothed down and my pencil mark has turned underneath, then I do the magic thumb press. The magic thumb press isn't electric or battery operated, it's just body heat that will hold that edge down well enough. Now I can slip a hand under, pick up my work, and do my tiny little applique stitch along the edge. The important part is when you have stitched to give it a little tug. That little tug makes sure that your fabric doesn't roll out and looks nice and flat. Now this is extremely portable. All my pieces stay in place, and I can take this with traveling, I can take it with sitting in the doctor's office waiting for an appointment, and I know that everything I need is in one place. Simple needle turn applique. I hope you'll give needle turn applique a try.